So the Nintendo Switch 2 is finally out, and I'm sure all of you who've managed to get one have been having a lot of fun with it, just having all of your games run much smoother and better, and also just having fun playing Mario Kart World. I know I've been loving mine a lot, but there is one issue that's been going on with pretty much all Nintendo Switch 2s that really can't be addressed until you do some action to fix it, and it has to do with the battery for the system. And this is honestly something that I wouldn't say is like an issue that's only impacting a small number of systems or anything. Pretty much every single Nintendo Switch 2 out there, unless you've already done this, is probably being affected by this. And so in this video, I'm going to give you guys an explanation of what the problem is, why it's happening, and most importantly, how to fix it, because the solution to do it is extremely easy. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it inside of this video. So what exactly is the problem? Well, the problem is for pretty much everyone out there, the battery percentage and battery indicator for your Nintendo Switch 2 is highly likely to not be accurate to exactly what condition your battery is currently in. And I'm sure maybe some of you have already kind of experienced this and you might be a little bit confused by it. Maybe some of you think your Switch 2 is broken or something, where maybe like I've seen a lot of people saying that their Switch 2 says it's on 1%, but they're able to play for like another 30 or so minutes. That's not normal and it shouldn't be happening, because if your Switch 2 is at 1%, you should have like a few minutes left before that thing dies and definitely not be getting an extra 30 minutes of playtime. And for a lot of other people, maybe the battery is just incorrectly displaying what it should be on, maybe it's depleting way faster than it should, maybe it's not charging properly and going up, but basically the battery indicator is kind of wonky for pretty much every single Nintendo Switch 2 out there. And so you might be wondering, well, why is that the case? It looks like it's working fine for me. Even if it seems like it's working fine for you, I guarantee you that there's probably some aspect of it that's a little bit off, even if you don't think so. So what exactly is causing this? Well, the Nintendo Switch 2 and pretty much all other tech devices like your smartphone and laptop and everything like that use a chargeable battery known as a lithium-ion battery. And just like all other batteries that you put inside of a remote and stuff, batteries can degrade over time. The thing is, when a battery is used by a software to kind of display exactly what percent the battery should be on, if the battery isn't going through the cycle of like getting depleted all the way and then being charged up all the way and just being constantly used, it can start to kind of not be connected as much to reality with what the condition of the battery is, and then the software is displaying an incorrect percentage for what the battery should be on, and that's creating some type of issue. And so the reason this is happening with Nintendo Switch 2s is pretty much all of the launch systems that we have right now that were from the initial shipment that is for launch day. These systems have been created for a very long time. In fact, if you've been following my videos on this channel where we were covering pretty much all of the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks and rumors up until the official reveal and the launch and everything, then you guys know that the rumors were coming out that the Nintendo Switch 2 had entered mass production towards like the end of last summer, around August. And I mean, that's pretty much also when we started getting those big leaks that showed us pretty much the entire design for what the system was going to be like, with the magnetic Joy-Cons and everything too, so that is lining up. And Nintendo was obviously expecting a huge launch for this system, and we've already kind of seen that with the sales numbers that they've released, that the system has sold 3.5 million in just 4 days, which is absolutely insane, already breaking records everywhere, and is now the fastest selling video game system in terms of a launch. But the thing about that is that because of that, Nintendo was anticipating that the launch for this was going to be huge, and that they needed a ton of systems in order to supply the demand that was going to be there for the Nintendo Switch 2, and so like I said, last summer, they pretty much just started making a bunch of these systems and then kind of just stockpiling them and just having them stored somewhere until they were ready to be sold when we had the release date come out just a few days ago. And so more than likely, the Nintendo Switch 2 that you have right now has also just been sitting around in a warehouse for like the last 8 to 10 months until Nintendo was finally ready to start sending it out to stores to then sell to you. And because of that, the lithium-ion battery inside of your system has just been ever so slightly slowly degrading over time because it's not getting any use and no one is charging it or using the system or anything. So when you finally turn it on after all of these months, the software inside of it, which is supposed to display your battery percentage, is not really lining up correctly with what the battery should be at, and that's why it's giving you issues now and displaying incorrectly. But thankfully, the solution to fix this is extremely easy, because all you have to do is just recalibrate the battery inside of your Nintendo Switch 2 so that it starts reading it properly again, and then it's able to accurately show you what the battery should be on. Now, Nintendo does have some directions on how to do this on their support website, so I will have that linked below in the description if you want to go and read it for yourself, but I'm just going to be showing you exactly what to do with my Nintendo Switch 2 inside of this video, and you can just follow along and do the exact same thing for yours, and you pretty much just have to do this once, and then it'll be done forever. It'll recalibrate your battery because you're going to be constantly using your Switch 2 and charging it and everything, so it will stay very up to date and accurate for what the battery should be on. Alright, so here we are on my Nintendo Switch 2, and the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you close out of any game or software that you have open. So just close out of all of that and just make sure that you're on the Nintendo Switch 2 home screen. Once you do that, you need to power off the system completely, and so in order to do that, you want to hold down the power button until this small little menu is going to appear, and then from there, you want to click on this thing that says Power Options, and then click Power Off. Do this and just wait a few seconds and it's going to completely shut down your Nintendo Switch 2. Then this is the kind of tricky part, but you want to hold down both of the volume buttons for up and down at the same time and then just press the power button once. After you do that, you can let go of the power button but keep holding down the volume buttons until a special white menu appears. This is the Nintendo Switch 2's recovery mode, and once you get to this screen, congratulations, you're done. That's pretty much all you need to do. You just have to get to this screen because it recalibrates the battery and everything for your system and the software once you get it into recovery mode. So after you get to this point, you just want to hold down the power button again until it shuts off the system. Then you're going to press the power button again one final time, and it's going to take you back to the Nintendo Switch 2 home screen, and once you do that, you're good to go. Now your battery should be calibrated and it should correctly display what the battery percentage it should be on, and so if you were having issues before where it would say like 1%, but you'd still be able to get like 30 extra minutes of playtime, that shouldn't happen anymore. It should tell you accurately what your battery percentage is on, and now it should be displaying correctly with the battery depleting and what it should be on according to the games that you're playing. And so yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out. I know it's a little bit unfortunate to have to do this, but it is kind of just one of those things that comes with getting a launch system that's been sitting around inside of a warehouse for a long time. But I do think that if you get a Nintendo Switch 2 later, once they're immediately produced in factories and then just sent to stores, you probably don't have to worry about this. But if you just ever have any other issues with battery in the future and you need to recalibrate it, now you know what to do. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know if this helped you guys out. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about the Switch 2 and Nintendo and Pokemon, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.